retaliatory animus. Had it not been for that negative feeling towards speech, they would have not done that.
It's not showing up on my computer.
Kansas has possibly the weakest open records law in the country.
In this case, shows us once again, police training does not work. Police training does not work, especially when police officers feel threatened in any way.
You're a person who believes in freedom of speech. You have to fight and say what you feel and let the chips fall where they may.
All right, evening everyone. There's Carrie. I've got a little technical difficulty with the camera tonight, but we are here live to discuss the debacle at the school board. Doc, what's going on over there, buddy?
Well, just kind of the same thing, different meeting, but with a twist. So, you know, something different, but the same at the same time.
Well, tonight they just decided to skip over people. And I guess what we can do, I mean, if you guys want to, we can just go ahead and show everybody kind of how it went, and then kind of talk about it. I don't know what else to do other than just dive in. It's gotten so crazy, Doc.
Let me kind of just say something just real quick, because the reason why they make this statement about the technical difficulties from last meeting is because it happened to me during the last meeting when they had these technical difficulties. They said as general public comment was starting, and through that I wasn't able to give the comment. They just removed me from the meeting. And so for this meeting here tonight, which just got over like an hour ago or so, they started general public comment off. The president started off by saying something about the technical difficulties from last meeting, and so that sets up what ends up happening during the public comment time then.
Yep, and I think what they're doing is they're using that claim of technical difficulties to just go ahead and skip over the people they don't want to hear from. And it's obvious this week it was myself and you. Of course, now there's another question here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this up on the stage here so people can see it. This is how I signed in tonight, guys. They have this policy there, and you know, I'm a fucking constituent, man. I mean, what else can I say? But they have my email address there, and that's the same email address that they got the request to sign up for. But I don't know if that's what they're trying to use as the reason they didn't let me speak, but I can show you what happened here as we get into the video. But they didn't let Carrie speak either. So this is crazy, guys.
We're now going to move on to public comment. Can I get someone to read the public comment statement for me, please?
And man, the public comment statement takes longer tonight.
The USD497 Board of Education welcomes public comments and thanks you for taking time to talk to us about our policies and procedures. We set aside this time during our regular meetings to hear from the public. Patrons who wish to participate in public comment must email publiccomment@usd497.org by noon on the day of the board meeting to participate in person. Information provided will make it possible for district staff or the board to follow up.
I can't unmute myself, and we're all like that. They keep us muted, and we don't have the authority over that button.
If your comments relate to complaints concerning students or staff, such complaints must be addressed to district staff as provided under board policies KN and GA.
And you're going to see here in a couple minutes when we get to my point where when they're done reading all their instructions.
Officer of the meeting may direct their public comment request be redirected to staff to comply with board policy, including and/or to protect the privacy of individual staff or students. If you need assistance in sharing a complaint or concern with district staff, please let the board clerk or other district staff know. Topics discussed in public comment shall be germane to the business of the board. Furthermore, comments must comply with standards laid out in Board Policy GAAE and Board Policy JGECA, anti-bullying and hazing of staff and students. Comments or acts that are threatening to staff, the board, or others in attendance, including the use of language or behavior that is disruptive of the board meeting, will not be permitted during public comment. In addition, because students may be in attendance or watching online, members of the public will refrain from using foul or obscene language. The The district assumes no responsibility or liability for the information shared during public comment. The views expressed are solely those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Lawrence Public Schools.
Disclaimers out of
The
the way.
board president or presiding officer will invite comment on topics not included on the meeting agenda at the beginning or the end of each meeting. Comments relating to agenda items are welcome after the board has had the opportunity to discuss the topic. Limit your comment to 3 minutes. Patrons who are unable to comply with the above procedures may email their comments and viewpoints to the board at schoolboard@USD497.org.
Watch down there at the bottom.
Thank you. Real quick, before we get started, at our last board meeting, we experienced some technical difficulties with WebEx, so I want to take a brief moment and apologize for those difficulties. It impacted our online commenters. We believe we have those technical difficulties fixed. In the event that they crop up again tonight, we do have a plan to address them. So if they do crop up, we will pause public comment. We will go to our backup process and we will restart whoever is currently giving comment. So with that, we're going to start with Michael.
Restart.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Justin.
What? Yo,
Yeah, pause
they
it.
just skipped me.
And gave you like a fraction of a second.
Yeah, they gave me like a.
They had just got done saying that they were going to give more, time or however they phrased it.
And you can see it right there on the screen. You're muted and you cannot unmute yourself.
Nope.
They have control of it.
Exactly. And so what they do there is they keep you muted and then they just move on by you like you don't even exist.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
And now, you pointed out another thing when we were talking a little bit right after the meeting, Doc. There's only 3 people in this community that are allowed to speak online because they made that policy. Because when we talked about where we were going to join them online and all the time, and then they made the policy you had to be in person, and then they started kicking people out, but they couldn't keep us out. So they had to let us go back online. Remember how they changed that, guys? They made it where we're the only ones that are allowed to be online because we have a reason to be online. And so who else is going to be there?
So they know it's you. I mean, they said your name, but they also know it's you. Even with that a fucking constituent name there, they know it's you. Plus they said it.
Yep. But it gets even worse when they get to Carrie, guys. Let's watch how this starts to play out here.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
This was good. This was good.
For you guys, before I proceed with my comment, is the hyphenated word bitch ass one word or 2?
So that's your warning, Justin.
Can I get a ruling on that since we only get a single warning before being removed? So that's one cuss word. All right. So why wasn't I given the opportunity to speak at last meeting? You said it affected public commenters, but it was just me. You say technical difficulties, but they were fixed immediately and the next speaker spoke with no issues. Why couldn't I go after her? Why was I removed? Is it because I said cuss words sitting here in my living room, unaware my microphone was on, but my comment time hadn't started? So now you're saying I can't cuss in my own home during your meetings, that I can only attend online due to an unconstitutional permanent ban you all gave me back on October 21st, 2021 for not wearing a COVID mask one time in Lawrence High School while trying to attend a public event? So I want to read from a public record that is in the possession of this school district. The record is my email sign up for tonight's meeting. When signing up online, the district asked us to state a topic to speak on, and I was approved by this district to speak tonight, and here's what I wrote in this public record. The district asks, topic you wish to address. Quote, a little of this and a little of that, but I will be saying words like fuck, shit, and bitch ass.
For joining us.
And
So we're going to move on to Carrie.
Okay, hold on. We got to pause there because we'll get to Carrie. But Doc, what the hell just happened there? I mean, I thought we were allowed to read cuss words off of documents.
Your guess is as good as mine, but not only that's the email I sent them and they approved it. And so when they approved it, they knew what I was going to be saying. And they still said, go ahead and come in here and speak it. So they gave me permission to say those words. But then when I say the words, and they remove me for it.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, I'm a little stuck on the fact, like Carrie, Carrie, you get books out of the district library, and those are documents that are in the district's possession, right?
In Lawrence, I don't
Sure.
get books out of there.
But in other districts, that's where you've gotten it.
Oh, in my school district, I used to. Now they changed the policy because for whatever reason, to where nobody can challenge any library books in the district.
None. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is though, our district will let you read, or I'm sorry, our library will let you read the books. Is it our school district will let you read the books that the kids can get out of the library, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll let me
And-
read the content in the book. However,
Right.
I learned that I have to say the title and what I'm doing beforehand.
So you have to announce
Well,
the
let's-
title of the book. Well, Justin
Last-
announced that this was on
let's
his
just-
email.
Yeah.
Well,
So I have to, last time there was major technical difficulties. And so I jumped into the middle of my speech because they didn't give me the time back at that time. And it was an issue. So,
Huh.
yeah. Anyways.
All right. So now, Doc, we get done with you and they toss you out. And guys, Carrie doesn't even get a chance.
And
I mean,
So we're going to move on to Carrie.
I'm pushing the unmute button.
All right. So that concludes public.
yeah. And they just throw it out and call it a day. And see, again, I want to come back to this point. I'm going to leave this on the screen here where you guys can see it. You're muted and you can't unmute yourself.
No, you can't.
They control it. The district controls the muting. I think you can control the video. I think, like if you can click video to get yourself up there, but not.
So-
Yeah.
So here's the question though. Why prevent? Because this really does look to me like somebody in the district is like taking steps to prevent Carrie and I and allowing you, because why would your button work and ours wouldn't?
Well, not only that, you look at the video there, and you guys got seriously like a fraction of a second before they moved on. With me, there was like on my end, there's some. I'm trying to press the button too, and you can see you.
Let's
can't
just
see
watch it. Yeah, let's just watch it real quick here.
Real quick before we get started at our last board meeting,
I don't
did
know.
our
I don't know
online
if it shows up.
commenters crop up again tonight? We do
Yeah.
have a plan to address them. We'll restart whoever is currently giving.
What do you?
It was all lies.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Justin.
What?
So here's Justin.
Yo, they just skipped me.
Okay. And Justin, they put you up on the screen. They didn't even put me up on the screen.
Well, so I selected that on my end, but I didn't know it. Like on my end, I didn't know that I was up on the screen. I didn't realize that till just watching it right now. I was like, oh shit, I was actually up on the screen because it doesn't indicate on mine if I've actually selected it or if I'm even seeing it. And also, like I just said, like I don't have any control over the mute button or not. So I don't know why they gave you guys a fraction of a second, but you'll see it took like a moment or two, and they gave me a moment or two. And before I said, can you hear me? But with you guys, it was just like right away, and that made no sense. And so while I was going on, when I was
Yeah,
watching,
they did. They gave you like 5 seconds
they
there.
went over you so quick. I was like, what I thought was like, did Michael like send him a message saying I signed up to speak tonight, but I've decided not to? And they gave him the word and they moved on so quick. I was like, I didn't realize till afterwards when he says like, no, they gave me that fraction of a second before they moved on. And it makes no sense why they did that. And matter of fact, when I got removed, I hopped over to YouTube to catch what Carrie said, since she would have been speaking behind me. And I see that they're wrapping up the meeting, and I'm like, damn, is there that long of a lag time? And what just happened? And then on YouTube as well, I've missed all of Carrie's general public comment already. So I just hit the skip back button like 10 seconds, and it was me speaking. And so that's when I realized, like, damn, they gave Carrie a fraction of a second too, but gave me a couple of moments. I don't really know what to make of any of it, other than that, like we were saying, that because we are the 3 that are permanently banned from being on their district property, so we can only speak during the meetings, is that they could do this technical difficulties bullshit every single week to have us be skipped over like that. If they're only going to give a fraction of a second and then move on, I mean, they eliminated your 3 minutes and you never get that time back. You didn't even get a chance to speak.
But that's
Carrie?
different than last time. So last meeting, they let it go on for a while. So that's the difference. This time it was, you're done. There is no time. You couldn't even breathe. So,
Right. I didn't even have time to hardly respond.
No, there wasn't. I was like on my phone. So,
But Justin, they gave you, like 4 or 5 seconds there at least.
Yeah, a couple moments. I don't know if it's 4 or 5 seconds, but a couple moments. Moments longer than you guys.
Well, sure.
That's for sure. And especially after, the board president, his name is Gordon Ross, after he gave that little blurb there before general public comment about the previous week's
about all the trouble that they had.
Tonight, we do have a plan to address them for a moment.
Yeah.
They were also going to, I think he said something about giving some more time or whatever to if they experience technical difficulties, they give you more time to get it straightened out or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah, here he is saying
difficulties fixed. In the event that they crop up again tonight, we do have a plan to address them. So if they do crop up, we will pause public comment. We will go to our backup process and we will restart whoever is currently giving comment. So with that, we're going to start with Michael.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Okay, so we're going to move.
In the time that it took me to push the button and see that I can't unmute myself, he's already moved past me.
Yeah. They didn't do what they just said. They didn't say we're going to pause it and restart it or anything like that. They were just like, Michael, nope, okay, next.
No, got to make it sound good. Got to make it sound
words
Can I
for
just-
you tonight.
well, they knew that it was you. So, like, even though you put in your title a different name, they knew it was you.
Oh, sure.
That's why they called your name because, anyhow, like you sent the email in, they still knew it was you. I doubt they're Michael that signed up.
Well, and it's got my email address on it. And, I doubt anybody wanted the screen name a fucking constituent up on the screen at the school board meeting for 3 minutes, did they? That's probably why that was not allowed to be shown.
Interesting.
Could be. But then what's up with Carrie's? Same thing happened with Carrie. So,
Well, Carrie talks about those bad books and says words, that Kelly Jones can't handle. And speaking of which, and I'm going to touch on it.
That don't make sense either. They let me talk.
Yeah, well,
I'm saying sexually explicit content.
yeah,
So,
she's talking about like intercourse and stuff that really makes Kelly uncomfortable.
in a book. It's in a book, so I'm not like just
Well, that's all speculation. I don't know. I
don't either. But the other thing is interesting, and I'll just touch on this just a little bit. But they had an executive session at the beginning of the meeting. We've got it all recorded. They ended up having to extend that thing to, I think it was almost an hour or a little over an hour. And the speculation is that this is the executive session that had to do with all the child sexual assault stuff that's going on in the school districts. And I found it very interesting when they went to those executive sessions that Kelly Jones was not a part of those executive sessions. And I have some serious questions about why that school board member was not a part of those specific executive sessions, given the fact of the way she acts on the dais and how words hurt her so bad. Could she not handle those topics?
I mean, probably not.
I thought that was incredibly interesting.
They are going into depth of the situation and what happened in those executive sessions. I don't, because if you're talking about legalities and you have a lawyer with you, I doubt you're going over those details, but maybe.
Well, I just found it. I just noted that she did not attend those executive sessions. And, for a school board member who's on the ballot to be elected this year and is not participating in one of the most vital issues in this district, I think she owes an explanation to the public here as to why she's not participating in those, even if it has nothing to do with anything that we're speculating about or that I'm speculating about. She owes the public an explanation of why she's not upholding her duties during that executive session, because that's one of the most important things this school district has to handle this year.
Did she say anything about needing to not be involved in it because of a conflict or anything like that?
I did not hear anything mentioned during the meeting. I just noted that when they moved to that part of the meeting, she just got up and left.
Okay.
And when they voted to go to executive session, they only had a 5-person vote, not a 6. And that's because they only had 6 because what's her name? I forget her. Costello wasn't there tonight.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah.
But these words, guys, it's the school board and words.
Well, it shows how much power they have, and they really are operating a fiefdom. So they've taken us three and they've been able to put us strictly online. And now that we're online, they can just they just showed tonight, they just skip over you, not even give you a chance. And then last meeting they just skipped past me as well. They didn't give me an opportunity to speak after the next speaker, which was Carrie, or to just mute and pause for a minute and then allow me to speak. They didn't do anything like that. So they have all of the power of control of that general public comment for us three and us three only, where like your guys' 3 minutes tonight and my 3 minutes last time, we'll never get that back.
No.
There's not a damn thing we can do.
And no court case is going to restore that either.
No, it's gone.
Do people know that we filed lawsuits? Am I not supposed to say that?
Well, I think it's.
I don't think so, but I mean, you can talk about it, doesn't matter. Yeah,
it's knowledge. We've put it out that they're being sued for these actions, and you know, there's a reason those lawsuits were filed, and it's because the actions that they're taking violate constitutional rights. They're silencing words.
Well, we might as well talk about it because I haven't put out the fact that we all had submitted a lawsuit, and it wasn't for any reason other than I haven't gotten around to it, putting anything out about it yet. But yeah, we filed. The three of us have filed a series of not a series, but a series between the three of us back in the beginning of September, and it was for multiple events that had happened from the beginning of the year. So from January of this year all the way up until basically the day that was filed, there was ongoing. Now, if you tune into like me and Michael's channels, you can see all the violations because we have been posting the videos on that, but we haven't necessarily mentioned the lawsuit itself. But all of those videos are out there. So basically twice a month from January till now, we've all been removed from all of the meetings while speaking, and only speaking. They'll try to frame it as behavior and conduct and all that stuff, but it's speaking only. And also in that time period, then Michael and Carrie have gotten their lifetime bans, which is why we're on there. I already had a lifetime ban from October of 21. But that's all part of the lawsuit, and for each one of our lawsuits. And then for me, this is the second lawsuit that I have against USD497 that's ongoing as well. So I had a previous one for that ban and also removals in 2022, and also in 2022. And so that lawsuit was going on. Now the three of us have filed one. Our attorney has filed a separate one for all of us. And
I think it's important to go back and remember the whole reason that Carrie and I are ending up in this school board meeting at all in the first place. And it was because of your lifetime ban for words. I mean, that's the only reason I went in there back in what was it, February? I think was the first meeting I went to.
It was January, but
January.
Yeah.
Nobody asked me to do anything. I just decided because after I watched some videos, I was like,
what the hell?
The school district has books in their libraries that have all these like cuss words in it. And not only that, but the sexual content. So I was like, it's wild. So
it's absurd. It's absurd. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It is. And I'd encourage everybody that's watching, if you're not familiar with all of it, try to go back and check out the videos, because when we say it's absurd, it really is. It's a similar thing, every meeting getting removed, but there are differences in how and what has happened.
Yeah.
Why they've even, so they started off at the beginning, the school district, they were removing for reading from the books. They had removed Carrie and they had removed me as well. And then they changed that, and now they're no longer removing for what they consider reading out of books in there. So you can if the book says we walked the dog to the fucking park, they're fine with it. But if you close quotes on that and you say,
I
walked my dog to the fucking park, you're out of there for what they call foul language. It makes no sense whatsoever how they're doing. And that's just one example. You can see through all those videos of just truly how absurd it is. It makes no sense. And it all boils down to what they say is that you can't say what they call foul language. Now, they won't define foul language in their policies. They won't answer our questions when we say foul language. And hell, we don't even know if they're removed. You know, they don't even say you violated our foul language policy and now you're out of here. They're just like, okay, thanks, bye. You know, we said the word and that got us out of there. But it's absurd to think that they can control and limit and restrict free speech so much that they can say you can't even say the word fuck in here. You can't do it.
Yep. Joe Cool in the house, Dread. Checking it out.
How's it going, Joe? Are you stopping by, man? Checking out the live stream.
You know, what else you got, Carrie?
Oh, about what else do I have? I'm just really annoyed tonight. I'm super annoyed. I think that everything is egregious. I have lost all patience. So that's where I'm at with all this. Yeah. And here's you would think that because of the lawsuits and you would think that they would be more careful about it. However, if we go back to when there was a candidate forum and I attended it with YouTube, I kept trying to hand a lawsuit to Kelly Jones and she kept throwing it away.
You bring up a really interesting thing, Carrie. That candidate forum that we went to, the interesting difference with that. Now, let me tell you, Doc and I know the clear difference with that, and I'm not sure if you are really familiar with it. That was Douglas County Fairgrounds. So that was the sheriff's department handling that ground. That wasn't police department. The Lawrence Police Department has not been really taught their lesson yet. Thanks to a fortunate ruling in the U.S. courts, our sheriff has lost his qualified immunity in a case where he violated civil rights. And so I think the sheriff's department is a little more cautious. We're seeing the changes in the county meeting as well. That was
because Kelly was like on the phone immediately. Yeah.
That was Doc's lawsuit that got Sheriff Armbruster's qualified immunity, and we see the effects of it in the county meetings. The deputies are much less interested in what's going on and trying to stop words now.
Yep. I see in there somebody says, "Can you say fook?" And so that's an interesting thing because, like I said, go back and watch the videos because you'll see all different kinds of things. So I've gone in there and I've said, "Hey, I'm doing this." I haven't gone in there; it's been online, but I'm speaking online. I say, "Hey, I got a petition. It's called the Fully Uncensored Communications at Meetings Petition. That acronym is FUCAM, and it's pronounced fuck 'em." And boom, I'm out of there. And FUCAM isn't even a cuss word.
Right.
And they try to say that it is, and they'll throw you out for it. So can you say fook?
Who knows?
Probably not. Who knows? They won't tell us until it happens.
Nobody knows.
Who knows?
They say you can't use the word the.
Yeah. They say they've removed me for saying bitch, and I'm sure they've removed you guys for saying bitch too, but they had another guy that spoke in there who's known in Lawrence and for the viewers out there, just to get an understanding, Lawrence is a liberal cesspool. It is so liberal. It's an extreme left-wing hellscape is what I would call it. It's awful there. And so they had a guy in there speaking that's he's known in the community, he's known as a left-winger, and he goes in there and he says, the local Democrats, they like to bitch about Trump and it's warranted. And I followed up and I'm like, well, why does he get to say bitch? And I say bitch and I get removed from the meeting. And it's one of those things where they're inconsistently applying these unconstitutional rules to begin with anyways, is that if they're going to allow somebody to say bitch, well, then that means they got to allow it for everybody else. They can't just pick and choose on that. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're treating us differently than other people in there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if the other two want to weigh in on this one. And Carrie didn't have much experience with Jill Gillette, but I'm happy to weigh in here. And I got to tell you, man, I don't see much difference between the two of them.
Oh, for me, it's Kelly Jones, without a doubt. Fuck Kelly.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, there's all that COVID shit, COVID masks and all that.
Right.
She's so damn soft.
Kelly was there for the masks.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. She was on the school board when the COVID madness was going on.
Oh, hey, here's Justin. Are you able to go in and talk about the movie Meet the Fockers?
There you go. There you go.
I mean,
That it presents an interesting question given the kind of shit we've seen from the school board.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. But it is really it's unbelievable unless you were to go and watch. And really, the videos aren't that long because most of the time, you know, you're out of there in 45 seconds.
Yeah, we're out of there pretty quick. It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
I know that the second that I start reading the, you know, this book says bitch 58 times. It says shit. I know that that's when they're gonna, even though I'm still talking about the content in the book.
Well,
that's when I get removed. It is wild.
That's the weird thing of it. So basically what Carrie is saying there is that when she reads the books, there's also where she gets that information from, the book information from, there's also a counter of how many times the cuss words are used in that book. And so Carrie will be reading a part of the book and it'll say like, I walked my fucking dog, and that's fine. But then she stops reading it and says, this book contains the word fuck 156 times, and they remove her. And even though the way she said, I walked my fucking dog, then quotes, and then her stopping and then saying that this book contains the word fuck 157 times, fuck is still the word that is being quoted from the book, but yet she gets moved from it.
And see, there's no way that they're going to be able to justify this up against the First Amendment, because the First Amendment does not care about context.
Right. And it don't care about cuss words either. That's what I think is the most absurd thing about all this, is that they really think that they can say no, what they call foul language here, and still try to be under the pretense of somehow having free speech in there.
Well, but now they've gotten to the point where it's you know, let's just keep the people out that have the foul language.
And it's just us. Yeah. And that's what they're doing now. And that's kind of
pretenses though.
Sure.
Like my permanent ban is because I tried to ask a question. I didn't even get to the question, but I tried to, and then they manipulated the situation and I got a permanent ban. Meaning
mine is for that night out back with Kelly Jones, where the police department wouldn't do anything about it, but she got too worked up and couldn't handle it.
Well, and that's
when I was asking her questions.
That's what's absurd about this, is it's not just the removals for the language. It's also what's absurd is that they try the amount of gaslighting that takes place. So like for Carrie's there, watch the video. It's all recorded. She walks up to after the meeting. She's in the parking lot, and that's a traditional, that's a designated public forum there. And so she has the right to be there. And as the board members are leaving, Carrie approaches, and she has the right to do that. And all she says is, Kelly, how come? And right then at that point, Kelly Jones says, I'm stopping you. You're trespass. That's what we're going to do. And she has the cop there, and the cop tells her to leave. And then in the ban letter, it says, you've been banned for your threatening and intimidating behavior and language and stuff like that. And you go back to the video, and all she said was, Kelly, how come? And then she gets stopped from speaking. So the amount of gaslighting is that you wouldn't even believe it unless it was recorded, which it is. They are totally lying to try to give pretext for why she's banned from there. Same thing.
Not that, but okay. There was a police officer with a police dog there.
Right.
Like that. Yet I am a problem.
Right.
So, no.
It's a total gaslight. Total.
Well, and you know, the gaslighting, you mentioned that we have it right here in this video where it shows that we can't unmute ourselves, and they have basically locked us out of the meeting with that.
Is that gaslighting, or is that just I don't know, another word?
Well, they're gaslighting. They're screwing us, but they're gaslighting the public about what's actually going on.
Okay, here's my thing. Do they really think that that's a good idea? Like,
do they really think I'm not screen recording this?
Like, do they think that, yeah, I got one up, I'm going to say, hey, Michael, one time, and then, oh, you don't answer and you're out? Yet 3 seconds before I said, hey, we had technical difficulties last time. I'm so sorry. However, we're going to, work with you on this and we'll figure it out.
Sure.
They don't even have to say that. They could just sit back for give them 5 seconds to get the mute button going. I mean, they don't even have to do any of that stuff. But they did say they would do that, though.
But you know, in this situation, 5 seconds wouldn't have helped. I could not unmute myself.
No, I couldn't either. I was doing one of these. So I'm like,
and see, that's the thing. We've got this screen recorded in real time, and they have literally screwed this up this time.
Well,
once again.
That's the thing with that mute button. So it's like that every meeting when I go to speak, since you don't have control, but you're waiting for them to mute and hoping that what happened tonight doesn't happen. You're hoping they don't just move on from it.
Right, because the only time you can touch that mute button,
there's nothing you can do about it because you don't have control of that mute button. They have control of it. And so for me tonight, there was an issue there. There was a back and forth trying to get that mute button undone to begin with, and for whatever reason, they gave me a couple of moments for them to resolve that before making the decision to remove me or not.
That audio,
guys, there was no leeway. It was boom, boom. That video Michael played there is not edited. It's not like he clipped out and it skipped it. No, they really got a fraction of a second like that.
Yeah, and the thing is that
because they could do that every single meeting to us. And
that mute button does nothing at any other point in the meeting until they release it so that you can unmute yourself.
Exactly. They're not allowing it. Justin, you got lucky, dude. So I'm just saying.
Got lucky, but then got removed afterwards. So, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a chance. So, yeah.
Well, it's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit.
Yep.
None of it's right.
I so wish, Michael, I wouldn't. This isn't like a thing. I wish you had last week's because Justin's was hilarious. So it was funny.
Oh yeah.
I would say I had a moment where I was like, I was annoyed because they interrupted me. However, it was not my fault. So I jumped into the middle of it because they wouldn't give me my time back at the time. So.
Well, Justin, did you not put up last week's?
No, I haven't. I haven't put it up because it's so dang short. What happened is they had that technical difficulties and they had my mic on. I didn't know it, and so there we are saying, you know, like I said in my speech that you played, sitting here in my living room saying, "What the fuck? This always fucking happens," and they can hear it in the meeting apparently, and it's like echo and stuff like that. And so they just remove me from the meeting. They don't give me a grace. They don't give an opportunity to fix it. They don't mute. They don't say, all right, we'll come back to them. No, they just kick me right out of the meeting. I'm out of there, and I don't get another chance. And so I emailed them all the next day. I'm like, why exactly did you guys remove me from the meeting and not give me a chance to speak? And all I got was some bullshit mumbo jumbo back from the superintendent. Her name is Janice Swift about how, when and didn't even refer to me. They said when the speaker was speaking, we experienced technical difficulties, and that's been fixed since then. And I emailed back. I'm like, okay, again, why didn't you give me an opportunity to speak after the next speaker? Because the difficulties were fixed. Why didn't you get more time to get it resolved?
Got it?
Yeah, here, let's take a look.
I was trying.
Carrie, I need you to.
Let's take a look.
You can hear the issues. That's where my thing is. You can hear it, and then they dick Justin over.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I think you need to mine a little bit, but that's fine.
Can you guys hear me?
Justin, I'm sorry. I think we were having some technical issues. We can hear you.
You think you're having some technical difficulties?
Let it play.
You think you're having some technical difficulties?
I will let you know.
These motherfuckers.
This is not intentional. I will let you know. Can you see this screen to know your time is?
Heck no.
How much time you have?
These motherfuckers.
This is not intentional. I will let you know. Can you see this?
What the fuck? What the fuck is going on here?
And you see them getting uncomfortable up on the desk.
Every fucking time with these guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Every fucking time.
Then they remove me, and so that's an interesting thing too, because so my comment has started. So this is a part of the meeting, but they had me, my microphone obviously was unmuted there. And I'm just sitting here in my living room. And so that's what I was saying tonight during general public comments. Like, oh, so now you motherfuckers get to tell me if I can sit in my living room and cuss while you guys are having the meeting now? Jeez. Yeah, you're really extending your authority there. Holy shit. And at least just give me another chance to speak. Don't just remove me. I didn't do nothing wrong.
Right. And Carrie, you're about to speak here, aren't you?
Do what? Me?
You're about to speak here, aren't you?
I am, but you see the guy. Okay, so I'm pointing to, you can't see that. But if you see there's a guy bending over, he brings over a laptop to the board president. Like you can see him like running and then he comes over. This is after Justin speaks.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. Anyhow, it was a mess. But yeah.
What were they doing with the laptop? Was he trying to help him out or something?
Gordon Ross was controlling it.
Well, I think he was trying to show him, look, technical difficulties. Look here, look.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows?
Like, hey, you Justin over, maybe because he's probably smart to know I'm not in this mess. Don't sue me. I'm just saying.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm not trying to like make it be all about suing, but
well, let's listen to what Carrie said. It's interesting too. Is it playing?
Yeah, it's playing.
Off of this thing, off of YouTube.
Yeah, it's playing.
They mute me, and I don't know. Yeah, because there's all these technical difficulties. Yeah. They don't know what's going on. I need to like turn that down. Again.
Move on, Carrie.
So they're
move on to Carrie here.
Fix the problem, supposedly.
Again, we're like trying to figure it out. What
on
is
the
it?
Fly.
Our experience.
We have her.
We have her. Then,
Carrie, can you hear me?
mind you, in the background, I'm yelling, "Yes, I'm here. I'm here."
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Can you start my time over again? Because right now it's showing at 2:50 and 2:49, 2:48, and that's not what I prepared for.
Can you set it back to 3?
No. It's running.
Can we stop it for a second?
Excuse me?
The superintendent say, "We'll set it back to 3," and then the board president says, "No."
Yes.
Like, what is that about?
And just to be, yeah, exactly. And just to be a dick. Just to be a dick.
And I don't know why.
If it was any other motherfucker beside the three of us, oh, sure, no problem. Yeah, we'll set it back for you.
Right. Yeah, and the superintendent really has no business getting involved anyway.
I will say I agreed with her in that moment. She probably knew.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want
to. Are you serious right now? You're taking my time away, especially knowing that you have a lawsuit against you guys for stuff like this? All right, so let's go ahead and start. He just tugged aside her underwear and put his fingers directly on her. She moaned again, and Hunt stroked her, 2 fingers dragging up and down with teeth grinding lightness. He licked up the side of her throat.
I'd like to call a point of order, please.
He whispered against her skin. Do you taste as good as you feel, Bryce? Please find a...
The public commenter is engaging in behavior that I believe it violates our rules, and I would like that to be taken into consideration as to whether it should continue.
Pause that for a second.
Yeah. What rule were you violating there, Carrie?
That board member, her name is Shannon Kimball, and what she said right there is another example of the gaslighting that we put up all the time with this stuff. Is she said that speaker is engaging in behavior that violates our policy. What behavior was Carrie exactly doing right there? She was engaged in what's called speaking in words, not behavior. And so they know they can't say she was saying something we don't allow, because they know that that's the issue. So they say they gaslight and try to frame it as behavior. And so if it's behavior, then it's not a violation of your First Amendment right. And that's what they're trying to do right there. That's what they're trying to frame this as, that she was doing something behaviorally, but this was all speech, 100% speech.
They can reframe it all they want, but it doesn't change what it is.
Exactly. But what it does is it paints this narrative out there that you got these people going to these meetings and they're just disrupting shit and they're behaving inappropriate. And really all it is just speech. Like we've been saying, it's just speech.
But I'm
it is a speech. I'm reading a book that they're allowing in their district, yet when we're in the present, it's all adults here.
Right.
They can't handle it, and that's bad behavior. So then do they think it's bad behavior when a child, I'm going to say child, a minor, is reading it? It makes no sense at all.
None. And well, Kelly Jones tells me that she wants me to talk to her like I would to a 5-year-old, but there are books in her library that she wouldn't be able to read through herself.
Right, and that's another wrinkle in all this, and the absurdity of all of it is that they allow the books to be read in there, and they allow during the meetings, and they allow the books inside the schools' libraries for the kids to access and read. But heaven forbid the adults who are speaking during general public comment say the exact same words that they allow to be read in the books and to be in the schools' libraries. Then they say, oh, well, we don't allow foul language in here because we're a school board. There might be students that are listening to us online. We don't want them to hear those words, but never mind the fact that they can read them in our books themselves, and they can listen to those same words while you read them here. But step outside of that and look out, then it's a violation. You can't do that. It's fucking bullshit.
Now here's an interesting one. They won't assume responsibility or liability for the info shared during public comment, but they will assume direct responsibility or liability for curtailing the content. I mean, they basically say we're not responsible for what happens during public comment, but now by silencing this, they have basically taken on that responsibility, and they put themselves in the kitty because of it.
That's true. Yeah.
Why would they go through this statement of deniability and then jump right in with both feet? It makes no sense.
I mean, they throw up on the screen that whole thing, which is new. Good job, you guys.
It is new.
Mm-hmm.
The last probably 3 meetings, I think. That public comment blurb on the screen wasn't always up there. They've thrown that up there since then.
But that one right there, yeah.
That comment you just said up there is true, because if they really didn't assume responsibility, then they wouldn't then say also, well, we have kids that are listening here, so we have to censor people if they have cuss words. If they really weren't taking responsibility, they'd just say, oh, sorry, that's the speaker said
exactly.
it.
Exactly.
They said.
Exactly. Yep. I don't know where you guys are at, but I kind of wanted to just let this executive session thing play out as we ended. What else you guys got?
You want to finish what my speech was?
Yeah.
Like from the thing, or is it moved?
No, let's let it play.
Okay.
From the first one, yeah.
No,
right here. Let this play out.
Oh, let this play out. I got you.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get back to it so I can.
Because I was a little, and I normally don't.
We were just pausing for commentary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to get back to it where I can hit play.
No,
the reason
She
being is
didn't
that
feel him
the reason being
his fingers or his
that,
cock, anything she might.
They mute me.
I don't know what she's talking about, and
What do I do? I read
we
books.
would not typically permit this kind of language just in public comment to the board.
Pause again. So basically what they're trying to claim here is that you notice when Carrie started her speech, she just dove into reading the book. And now they're trying to say, well, we don't know if it's actually a book or not. And because of that, we're going to be the gatekeepers here, and we're going to decide if she needs to explain to us first before we allow her to speak in here or not. And it doesn't get any more anti-free speech than that. We don't need to. I mean, Carrie in theory could have read all of that, and at the end of it said, and that was from a book in your library. She could have said that could have been her speech, but they stop her before. But they're demanding, no. You need to tell us if that's a book, if that's a book, and then we'll determine if you can read it or not. And you have to do that up front.
So you have to justify your speech.
They're trying to compel you how you even frame your speech. They're saying, yeah, you could say it at the end of it, but we want to know at the beginning of it. And it's like, well, sorry, my free speech, I don't want to let you know, right? I could let you know at the end of it. I could not even let you know. It's called my fucking 3 minutes, not yours, motherfuckers.
Right.
And like, I might have a whole thing I'm doing, but they want to control it, and they want to decide it. And
right. They have no idea. They have no idea in that moment what your speech is or is going to be, but yet they're jumping in to cut it off to say, well, we don't know enough about it to determine if you can speak in here or not. And it's like that ain't how it works, guys. That ain't how it works.
Thing though, they also they know me by now. So what I'm saying is definitely from a book. It's a story. Like, it's common sense, yet we have to make a big deal about it, sadly.
Yep.
Like,
let me let this one play out, Carrie. This is your speech from this is last week's.
Okay. Can you start my time over again? Because right now it's showing at 2:50 and 2:49, 2:48, and that's not what I prepared for.
Can you set it back to 3?
No, it's running.
Excuse me? Are you serious right now? You're taking my time away, especially knowing that you have a lawsuit against you guys for stuff like this? All right, so let's go ahead and start. He just tugged aside her underwear and put his fingers directly on her. She moaned again, and Hunt stroked her, 2 fingers dragging up and down with teeth grinding lightness. He licked up the side of her throat.
I'd like to call a point of order, please.
He whispered against her skin. Do you taste as good as you feel, Bryce? Please find a...
The public commenter is engaging in behavior that I believe it violates our rules, and I would like that to be taken into consideration as to whether it should continue.
Doesn't mention what rule.
By the way,
the reason
She
being is
didn't
that
feel him
the reason
inside
being
her, his fingers or his
that,
cock, anything she might...
I just kept reading.
I don't know what she's talking about, and we would not typically permit this kind of language.
Yeah, you do, actually. When I
just
read
in public comment to the board.
Yeah, they do.
It's a book. Sorry. I'm still reading. I don't know.
If you need a moment.
I don't know what's going on. I'm still reading, just so you know the background scene. It's muted though.
And they've got your time stopped. They're trying to figure out what to do.
Carrie, I need you to explain what you're doing when we restart the time, or I'm going to have to cut you off because we don't know what you're doing.
Yes, they do. They know.
You told me that I couldn't, that I didn't have my time. That's what I'm doing. Because you said I couldn't have my time. So I started in the, and now you're doing it again. It's 2:56, 2:55. I don't know what's going on with you guys, but like literally I have a speech prepared. I time my speeches. I prepared them.
I do.
So what are we doing? No, I'm literally asking because I am at the mercy of you all and you're having my time go by. Because I'm reading a book that's in both of your high schools. It's called House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. This is a book that you guys are allowing.
Yeah.
You guys are okay with it. So if there's a problem, it's because of you all, okay?
And they're silent.
They got nothing.
So I don't even know what you guys have heard or not. So I guess I'll just jump right in again because this whole thing is a mess.
Sorry. Ugh.
Fuck. Her eyes nearly rolled back into her head. At the feeling of that finger, she rocked her hips, desperate to drive him deeper, and he obliged her, pulling out his finger nearly all the way, adding a second and plunging both back into her. She bucked, her nails digging into his chest. She purred her face in his neck, biting and licking, starving for any taste of him while he pumped his hand into her again. Hunt breathed into her ear. I am going to fuck you until you can't remember your God's damn name. I had plans for this beautiful ass, Bryce. Filthy, filthy plans. She moaned again, and his fingers stroked into her over and over. Come for me, sweetheart, he purred against her breast, his tongue flicking over her nipple just as one of his fingers curled inside her, hitting that God's damn spot. She tipped her head back and let go, riding his hand with abandon, driving them both into the couch cushions. He groaned, and
Okay,
she
you
swallowed.
see this? You see Yolanda leaning over and comforting Kelly?
Yeah.
Are you serious right now?
I don't know. Kelly looked awful nervous, and Yolanda kind of scooted over to her.
Kelly's walked out, and so has Bob. But yeah.
Wow, that's incredible, man. These people
The
need to grow
sound
up.
with an open-mouthed kiss as every nerve in her body exploded into glorious starlight. This book says fuck 528
That's your warning,
times.
Carrie.
Yeah, I know. Shit 224
Carrie, for
times.
joining us.
Ass
And they throw her out.
Do we have any else?
Really a first warning. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, after all that, the warning comes from saying this book says fuck 17 times, whatever she said there.
You know, and Small Block Feely here, yeah, he did remember something out of that little live or that little recording we had at the forum where Bob said he'd be talking to somebody about the bands.
About Michael's, not.
Yeah, he got back to me. They're not going to do anything about that.
No, they're not.
So
no, it was all talk. However, after that, at that meeting, there were images of a book. It's basically porn, like pictures of it. And Bob like refused to talk to me after I asked him about it and showed him what is in the library. I guess I just don't understand why the board has these rules at public meeting or public comment, yet they don't want to look at, they don't want to see, they want to have blinders on when it comes to the content that they're providing these kids. They're allowing it. They're not trying to fix it. They're not doing their due diligence. Yet I'm the problem, or Justin's the problem, or Michael's the problem if we read something or if we're saying the words fuck. So it really doesn't. I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. They are giving kids content that is inappropriate because they have said it's inappropriate in their own way at public comment. So it's their own doing.
If they won't allow it to be said in the meeting because of the reasons that they've given, then they've signed off on those books as being okay.
Thank
you. And if they shouldn't be said in front of the school board members, then they shouldn't be read in the schools, right?
Right. Yeah. What's the difference?
That's the way I see it.
I'm over. It doesn't make any sense. And by the way, isn't it clear that I was reading a book?
Yes.
I could have said this book is called Carrie's Tales by, a fake name, and then they would have let me read it. No, like it's seriously a thing. It doesn't make any sense.
A couple meetings ago, I had written up a story on my own and said, I'm going to read a story I came across, and I started reading it. And it must have been pretty convincing to them because they let me go, cuss words and all, until the very end. And I said, it was like a cop chase or whatever. And I said, and the cop jumped out and said, freeze, you're under arrest by the direction of that bitch Kelly Jones and that bitch Jordan Ross. I'm out of there. So they thought it was a real book.
I did hey, this is a book that I read content. I said the titles, but I said, guess which one is actually in your library. So I read a book and they allowed it, that wasn't even in their library, which I think is like wild. But
it is. And you didn't have to explain which is which, but in this meeting here, they're trying to make you explain before you even proceed.
Because of my behavior. No, it's their, they have allowed this. They have allowed it. So it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm over them. I'm over.
Michael, there was a comment just a little while ago. Somebody had said that side conversation between those two board members, that was Yolanda Franklin and Kelly Jones, is a violation of the Open Meetings Act. And I agree with that because it's saying that it's supposed to be loud enough for the public to hear. And I also think that fits the definition of what a disruption would be. So sure. Carrie was speaking. She was speaking during her time, and then the board members, if they don't want to listen, that's one thing. But
they walk out.
Talk about behavior, to be physically leaning over, talking to another board member while somebody else is speaking, so we can't even hear it. Meanwhile, you're in an open meeting, and the Open Meetings Act rules apply. We need to know what the hell you're talking about there. But also, that's a disruption right there. Anybody else during that meeting, if they were up there talking, and somebody in the audience, especially if we were in the audience, like talking like that, they would stop the meeting, say we're disrupting it and we need to get out. But for them, it's an allowable thing for them. They're above their own rules, and they're not allowed to be above their own rules. They're not allowed to do that.
Can I just say that in the comments, like, I don't have a channel. I have no desire to, but in Michael's and Justin's channel, I enjoy watching or like reading the comments because I learn a lot, just like with that, because I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
I'm not like super, smart about all this. So I just learn a lot. So thank you. Appreciate it. Good. It's helpful.
Well, we all learn.
There's a lot to know navigating all this crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. There was something today under the article about and sorry, I'm not trying to make this about me, but Michael, you dropped like a community note or something in YouTube, and there was somebody who wrote underneath there, and I'm going to go ask people. It's about my school district, and it's a whole nother thing. That's a whole other topic, but so I just appreciate it because now I'm asking other people questions about what somebody stated in there.
Yep.
So,
good. Excellent.
that's all.
Well, I think that pretty much covers this meeting, guys. We're going to close out, and I'm going to let you guys see how these executive sessions played out. Again, I really do think that these executive sessions had a lot to do with the problems with teachers messing with kids. And it took almost an hour. And, they have more problems with that than they do with any kind of speech in that room that they need to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Guys, appreciate you watching. Enjoy this little clip here, and we'll be back again.
Okay.
See you.
We're going to go ahead and get started and welcome everyone. Can I get approval of the agenda?
I move we approve the agenda for the October 20th, 2025 board meeting.
I second.
Byers?
Yes.
Cadu Blackwood?
Yes.
Costello? Franklin?
Yes.
Gordon Ross?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Kimball?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
So we're going to move on to item 1.3. We're going to recess to executive session. Can I get a motion, please?
I move to recess to executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel matters of non-elected personnel in order to protect the privacy interest of the individuals to be discussed with Dr. Janice Kerr-Swift, Superintendent Dr. Larry Engelbrecht, Deputy Superintendent Sammy Devine, Acting Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, and Counsel David Cunningham invited to be present, with the board to return to open session in this room at 6:21 with possible action to follow.
Second.
Cadu Blackwood?
Yes.
Franklin?
Yes.
Gordon Ross?
Yes.
Kimball?
Yes.
Byers?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
And we're going to extend. We're back from executive session. We're going to extend. Can I get a motion?
I move to recess to executive session for the purposes of discussing personnel matters of non-elected personnel in order to protect the privacy interests of the individuals to be discussed with Dr. Janice Kerr-Swift, Superintendent Dr. Larry Engelbrecht, Deputy Superintendent Sam Devin, Acting Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, and Counsel David Cunningham invited to be present, with the board to return to open session in this room at 6:42 with possible action to follow.
I second.
Gordon Ross?
Yes.
Kimball?
Yes.
Byers?
Yes.
Cadu Blackwood?
Yes.
Franklin?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
I move to recess to executive session for the purposes of discussing personnel matters of non-elected personnel in order to protect the privacy interests of the individuals to be discussed with Dr. Janice Kerr-Swift, Superintendent, Dr. Larry Engelbrecht, Deputy Superintendent, Sammy Devon, Acting Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, and Counsel David Cunningham, invited to be present with the board to return to open session in this room at 6:48, or I'm sorry,
6:53.
6:58.
6:58 with no action, with possible action to follow. 15 minutes.
15.
Second.
Yes.
Byers,
Yes.
Kadu Blackwood,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Ross. Motion passes 5-0.
Sorry about that.
Back and we're going to extend.
I move to recess to executive session for the purposes of discussing personnel matters of non-elected personnel in order to protect the privacy interests of the individuals to be discussed with Dr. Janice Kerr-Swift, Superintendent, Dr. Larry Engelbrecht, Deputy Superintendent, Sammy Devon, Acting Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, and Counsel David Cunningham, invited to be present with the board to return to open session in this room at 7:10 p.m. with possible action to follow.
I second.
Kimball,
Yes.
Byers,
Yes.
Kadu Blackwood,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Gordon Ross.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
We are back from executive session. We thank everyone for your patience. I have no action at this time, and so we'll move on with our agenda to item 1.5, the report of the superintendent of schools.
Say whatever you want and then face some sort of repercussions for it later.
Hey, son. Nothing else in the world smells like that.
Kansas has possibly the weakest open records law in the country.
Retaliatory animus, had it not been for that negative feeling towards speech, they would have not done that.
Are you telling me that 200 men against your boy is a no-win situation for us? Wishing you could see things once my way. When it all gets ripped away. I know the smell of napalm in the morning. I can't hide.